that suspension does not apply to any private property.
Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Criminals, miscreants, will always get their hands on guns.
Living in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County, I believe that you're safer for the next 30 days.
If you were serious, you would acknowledge that 96% of mass public shootings happen in an area where guns are banned.
An escalation in violence perpetrated with guns, particularly among our young people, in a manner that I have never seen before.
New Mexico's recent implementation of the official national gun ban has ignited a fierce debate. Balancing safety concerns with constitutional rights, this contentious move is reshaping the conversation on gun control. Governor Grisham's controversial decision. In a startling turn of events, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham of New Mexico has recently invoked her authority to declare a state of emergency, effectively enacting a temporary suspension of specific Second Amendment rights in response to a surge in gun-related incidents within Bernalillo County and Albuquerque.
Our Second Amendment. It's a hell no to government trampling on our freedoms.
That you said that all assault weapons should be banned. Is that a fair statement?
This unprecedented move has thrust Governor Grisham into the national spotlight as he grapples with the fundamental question of balancing constitutional rights with the imperative to ensure public safety. Before this incident, Governor Grisham may have been relatively unknown to many. However, her decision has ignited a firestorm of controversy, igniting a fierce debate on the boundaries of constitutional rights. Critics argue that this move infringes upon the Second Amendment rights of citizens, while supporters contend that it is a necessary measure to protect the community in the face of escalating gun violence. Rather than backpedaling on her decision in light of this intense backlash, Governor Grisham has chosen to stand firm. She asserts that no constitutional right, including her own oath of office, should be considered absolute. Her rationale hinges on the belief that even fundamental liberties, such as free speech, can be subject to restrictions in times of crisis. While she acknowledges that citizens are endowed with certain rights from the moment of their creation, she underscores that these rights are not impervious, especially in moments of societal upheaval. Prominent advocates for stricter gun control measures, including David Hogg, Ted Lieu, and Ryan Bussey, surprisingly expressed reservations about Governor Grisham's decision. Their apprehension suggests that even those typically in favor of stricter gun control policies have their concerns about the extent of the measures taken. The controversy further intensifies as key figures within the legal and law enforcement communities openly reject the governor's order. District Attorney of Bernalillo County, Sam Bregman, along with Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller, have both declared their intention not to enforce the directive, deeming it unconstitutional.
We're impacted by the gunfire that was happening around them and the subsequent stabbing and destruction of evidence.
But, Madam Speaker, guns have been prevalent in the United States of America since before our founding.
This decisive move signifies a significant challenge to the governor's authority, as the highest legal authorities in the affected jurisdictions stand in defiance. Police Chief Harold Medina of Albuquerque echoes this stance, affirming that his force will not carry out the order. In contrast, County Sheriff John Allen adopts a more cautious position, expressing concerns about potential legal liabilities for his deputies. In Assumption, Governor Grisham's decision to enact a temporary suspension of specific Second Amendment rights in the face of escalating gun violence has set off a firestorm of controversy. Her stance, which prioritizes the rights of victims and their families over constitutional rights, is met with fierce opposition from critics who argue that it infringes upon the fundamental liberties of citizens. The refusal of key legal and law enforcement figures to enforce the directive adds another layer of complexity to an already contentious issue. This episode exemplifies the intricate and contentious nature of balancing individual rights with the imperative to ensure public safety, particularly in times of crisis. Sheriff's concerns and legal challenges. In the wake of what is being termed as an official national gun ban, the decision by Governor Michelle Grisham of New Mexico to temporarily suspend certain Second Amendment rights has ignited a contentious debate surrounding constitutional liberties and public safety. This move has prompted significant concerns from law enforcement officials, particularly Sheriff John Allen of Bernardino County, who is apprehensive about potential ramifications for his deputies. Sheriff Allen's reservations stem from the 2021 New Mexico Civil Rights Act, a groundbreaking legislation signed into law by Governor Grisham. The act has brought about a seismic shift in the legal framework governing the actions of government agents, eliminating qualified immunity. Traditionally, qualified immunity provided a shield for law enforcement officers, offering them some protection from personal liability in cases where they were deemed to have knowingly violated citizens' constitutional rights.
An escalation in violence perpetrated with guns, particularly among our young people, in a manner that I have never seen before.
That men and women in this country have the right to defend their own lives.
With this safeguard now removed, Sheriff Allen and his deputies face heightened accountability for their actions. The sheriff's concerns are twofold. Firstly, he fears placing his deputies in situations that could lead to civil liability conflicts. This apprehension is rooted in the understanding that in the absence of qualified immunity, deputies may find themselves personally liable for actions taken in the line of duty. This shift introduces a significant legal risk for law enforcement officers, who must now navigate a landscape where their actions may be subject to intense legal scrutiny. Secondly, Sheriff Allen is troubled by the potential risks associated with prohibiting law-abiding citizens from exercising their constitutional right to self-defense. The suspension of Second Amendment rights under the governor's directive has implications for individuals seeking to protect themselves and their property. This creates a delicate balance between maintaining public safety and respecting the fundamental rights of citizens. As anticipated, the implementation of this gun ban has led to an influx of legal challenges. Advocacy groups such as the National Association for Gun Rights have taken a leading role in these efforts. NAGR swiftly filed a lawsuit seeking various forms of legal relief, including summary judgment, declaratory judgment, temporary injunction, and permanent injunction. Their approach to legal filings reflects the straightforward nature of the constitutional issue at hand and the recent legislative changes. The concise pleadings indicate a laser focus on the core constitutional matter, demonstrating the urgency and gravity of the situation. In this evolving legal landscape, the sheriff's concerns represent a microcosm of the broader national conversation. Balancing the imperative of public safety with the preservation of individual rights is a complex and delicate task. The suspension of Second Amendment rights in the face of rising gun violence serves as a poignant example of this challenge. It prompts a critical examination of how societies can best protect their citizens while upholding the principles enshrined in the Constitution.
Or licensed security officer shall possess a firearm.
Most significant federal gun restrictions in decades on Friday following years of false starts and failures to tighten gun laws.
As this legal battle unfolds, it is poised to shape the future of gun rights and constitutional protections in the U.S. The outcome will have far-reaching implications, not only for the citizens directly affected by the ban, but also for the broader discourse surrounding the balance between individual liberties and collective security. Constitutional scrutiny. Questions arise about its alignment with the plain text of the Second Amendment. This amendment enshrines the right to keep and bear arms, a right explicitly safeguarded by the Constitution. However, it now falls on the governor to provide historical precedents or analogies that validate an executive officer's ability to suspend constitutional rights during a health emergency. For some citizens, especially in states without a clear historical analog, this move is deeply unsettling. Even tracing back to the late 1700s or the mid-1800s, there may be no precedent supporting such executive action. However, in certain progressive-leaning blue states, there are more recent historical examples, notably during the COVID-19 pandemic from 2021 to the close of 2022. In response to this situation, the National Association for Gun Rights has taken a decisive stance. They are not missing words and are getting straight to the heart of the matter. Their legal pleadings are a testament to this approach, explicitly seeking a declaratory judgment asserting that the prohibition on carrying firearms, either in its application or on its face, is unconstitutional.
We can't sit here and have debates. We can't wait for the 30-day session in January.
Criminals will always find guns.
Absolutely.
And it is the cities with the most restrictive gun policies in the country where...
In essence, the initiation of this official national gun ban is sparking a critical examination of its constitutional validity. It raises concerns about the lack of historical precedent in some regions, while also highlighting the proactivity and determination of advocacy groups like NAGR in challenging this decision through legal channels. The outcome of this legal battle will not only impact those directly affected by the ban, but also significantly influence the broader discourse surrounding individual liberties versus collective security. Unraveling the legal battle. The recent initiation has sparked a legal battle of significant magnitude. At the forefront of this challenge is the National Association for Gun Rights, who have swiftly taken action under a Section 1983 claim. This claim asserts that individuals are being deprived of their constitutional rights while under the color of state law, a fundamental issue at the heart of this debate. NAGR's legal strategy is comprehensive and aims to address multiple facets of the gun ban. Firstly, they contest that the ban on carrying firearms impedes law-abiding adults from engaging in conduct that they believe is well within their constitutional rights. This argument strikes at the core of the Second Amendment, emphasizing the right to bear arms. The organization is also seeking both preliminary and permanent injunctive relief. This means that they are requesting the immediate halt of the enforcement of the carry prohibition, as well as a long-term prohibition on its enforcement. This dual approach underscores the urgency with which NAGR views this issue, recognizing the potential harm that can be inflicted on law-abiding citizens if the ban is allowed to continue.
Getting assault weapons, AR-15s, out of the hands of people who shouldn't have them.
That suspension does not apply to any private property.
Furthermore, NAGR is pursuing remedies available under 42 United States Code Section 1983. This section is a crucial legal tool that allows individuals to seek redress for violations of their constitutional rights when the violation occurs under the authority of state law. The potential remedies encompass a broad range of relief, including monetary compensation, injunctive orders, and the awarding of attorney's fees, costs, and expenses. The legal battle over the official national gun ban illuminates a broader challenge faced by advocates for Second Amendment rights. It's a testament to how rapidly the landscape can shift, catching even seasoned activists off guard. Often, attention is focused on one area, while unexpected challenges arise elsewhere. In this case, the gun rights community was confronted with an issue of immense significance that emerged seemingly out of nowhere. The prompt response of NAGR underscores the organization's commitment to defending gun rights, even in the face of unforeseen challenges. This legal endeavor serves as a microcosm of the broader debate surrounding gun control and individual liberties. It highlights the need for vigilance and preparedness, as well as the importance of having organizations like NAGR that are dedicated to safeguarding Second Amendment rights. The outcome of this legal battle will not only have direct implications for those affected by the ban, but it will also contribute to the ongoing discourse about the balance between individual freedoms and collective security in the United States. As the legal proceedings unfold, it's clear that this is a pivotal moment for the fight for gun rights. The arguments put forth by NAGR will be scrutinized, and the court's decision will undoubtedly have far-reaching consequences. Ultimately, this case will be a critical chapter in the ongoing saga of defining the scope and limits of the Second Amendment in contemporary society. National gun ban. A critical legal issue has been thrusted into the spotlight, catching many off guard. This event highlights a common challenge faced in discussions surrounding civil disarmament, the sudden emergence of pressing matters that divert attention from ongoing debates. It's akin to a wildfire, demanding immediate attention and action. Kudos are extended to the National Association for Gun Rights for swiftly immersing themselves in this legal battle. Their proactive stance, along with the contributions of other advocacy groups and unexpected voices on social media like David Hogg, Ted Lieu, and Ryan Bussey, underscores the gravity of the situation. Even when individuals with differing viewpoints express concern, it amplifies the significance of the issue at hand. The development also sheds light on a broader national concern. Some politicians may be prioritizing optics and political gains over the substance of their policy proposals.
Second Amendment protects firearms in common use at the time and also said this, quote, for lawful purposes like self-defense.
Living in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County, I believe that you're safer for the next 30 days.
They were assaulted and shot by someone and couldn't defend themselves because their guns were taken from them.
The mention of a hypothetical 28th Amendment serves as an example, suggesting that certain proposals may be advanced for political posturing rather than genuine legislative progress. This approach jeopardizes constitutional rights and diminishes the gravity of vital discussions. Anticipation looms for further progress in this case, with potential court hearings and rulings on the horizon. The author encourages individuals in New Mexico, especially in the Albuquerque area, who have exercised their First Amendment rights in a peaceful manner. However, there's a hint of caution, implying that even this right might be subject to temporary suspension if deemed necessary by the governor. The way subtly extends an invitation to readers to reach out to Washington Gun Law for any questions they may have about this situation or related matters. This implies that the organization is a valuable resource for understanding the legal implications surrounding gun rights in Washington state. In Rapid, the passage provides an in-depth commentary on the unexpected emergence of a significant legal issue tied to the official national gun ban. It applauds advocacy efforts and praises pertinent concerns about the political climate surrounding constitutional rights. It emphasizes the need for vigilant engagement and a thorough grasp of these crucial issues in the face of rapidly evolving developments. Emergency gun ban controversy. The controversy surrounding Governor Michelle Grisham's emergency order to temporarily suspend the right to carry firearms in public areas in and around Albuquerque, New Mexico, has escalated, as Bernalillo County Sheriff John Allen has pledged not to enforce the directive. Sheriff Allen emphatically stated during a press conference that he views the order as unconstitutional and believes it will not effectively address gun violence. The sheriff's refusal to enforce the order highlights a significant point of contention in the debate over public safety and Second Amendment rights. This controversy has not been limited to law enforcement. Likewise, Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller and Police Chief Harold Medina have announced their non-compliance. The legal battle has also been taken up by a gun rights group, which filed a federal lawsuit within a remarkably short 24-hour period. Their aim is to secure an immediate court order blocking the enforcement of the governor's directive. This move demonstrates the urgency and intensity of the legal response to the emergency order. On the political front, Republican state lawmakers are considering initiating impeachment proceedings against Governor Grisham. This would be a significant step, requiring support from the Democratic majority in the state legislature.
If you are committing a crime in Bernalillo County and we catch you, we're going to force you to get treatment through the criminal justice system.
If you were serious, you would acknowledge that 96% of mass public shootings happen in an area where guns are banned.
The proposal to pursue impeachment underscores the deep divide and high-stakes nature of the debate over the emergency order. Debate erupts over emergency order. Block further disclosed that legal counsel is currently drafting an article of impeachment against Governor Grisham. It's worth noting that Grisham, a former congresswoman, has recently commenced her second term, and she cannot immediately seek a third consecutive term. The ACLU, a prominent civil liberties organization, also raised objections to the governor's response to gun violence. They voiced apprehensions that it might lead to an overly aggressive approach in policing and potentially encroach upon individuals' privacy. Lolita Moskowitz, the litigation manager for the ACLU of New Mexico, emphasized the risk of over-policing, racial profiling, and added hardship for already marginalized communities. Moskowitz advocated for evidence-based strategies like meaningful diversion and violence intervention programs, along with addressing the root causes of violence. Craig Baca, the leading Republican in the New Mexico Senate from Belen, strongly criticized the order, asserting that it impinges on the gun rights of law-abiding citizens. Dan Lewis, a member of the nonpartisan Albuquerque City Council, echoed this sentiment, deeming the order unconstitutional. Randy Kozik, the head of the National Rifle Association's lobbying arm, issued a statement condemning the order as a shocking exercise of administrative fiat. He argued that it undermines the fundamental rights of law-abiding New Mexicans. In a peaceful demonstration, protesters openly carrying firearms gathered in Albuquerque's Old Town area. Sheriff John Allen, reiterating concerns expressed in a statement on Friday, reiterated his apprehensions about the potential risks faced by his deputies if they were to apprehend individuals carrying firearms. This highlights the operational challenges faced by law enforcement in implementing the emergency order. Balancing safety and rights. In the wake of New Mexico Governor Michelle Grisham's recent emergency order to temporarily suspend the right to carry firearms in public areas, Bernalillo County Sheriff John Allen expressed deep concerns for the safety of his deputies and the residents of Bernalillo County. He emphasized a desire to avoid any form of political violence in the region, highlighting the existing challenges with violence that already persist. Governor Grisham defended her decision, citing recent tragic incidents involving children as a driving force behind the emergency order. These incidents include the demise of an 11-year-old boy outside a minor league baseball stadium, the shooting of a 5-year-old girl asleep in a motorhome, and the August shooting demise of a 13-year-old girl in Taos County. These heartbreaking events compelled the governor to take action to address gun violence in the state. The issuance of the firearms suspension as an emergency public health order draws parallels to the contentious public health orders that were a focal point during the coronavirus pandemic. This order, like its predecessors, aims to protect the safety and well-being of the public during a crisis, in this case, a surge in gun-related incidents.
I'm not safe. And what are you going to do about it? I'm terrified in my own neighborhood.
Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Criminals, miscreants will always get their hands on guns.
The gun ban, according to Governor Grisham, will be in effect for a 30-day period and will cover both open and concealed carry in most public spaces. This measure is directly linked to a threshold for violent crime rates, a standard currently met primarily in metropolitan Albuquerque. Notably, the order includes exemptions for police officers and licensed security guards. Violators of the order could face civil penalties and fines of up to $5,000, according to gubernatorial spokeswoman Carolyn Sweeney. However, the order does provide provisions for residents to transport firearms to specific private locations, such as gun ranges or stores, as long as the firearm is properly secured with a trigger lock or another mechanism that prevents discharge. Sheriff Allen expressed his surprise and frustration at the sudden announcement of the governor's plan, indicating that law enforcement officials had cautioned against such a move. Despite his initial reactions, Sheriff Allen emphasized the need to channel his concerns into constructive solutions. One proposed course of action is to urge state lawmakers to convene a special session to address the escalating violence in Albuquerque. This situation underscores the intricate challenge of balancing public safety with individual rights, particularly in the context of gun control measures. Governor Grisham's decision reflects a response to a perceived crisis in gun violence, driven by recent tragic incidents. However, it has sparked immediate opposition from law enforcement officials like Sheriff Allen, who argue that the order may inadvertently exacerbate tensions and potential violence. As the debate continues, it is crucial to consider the broader implications of such emergency measures, particularly in terms of constitutional rights and their limitations during times of crisis. The outcome of this contentious issue will likely resonate far beyond New Mexico, contributing to the ongoing national conversation surrounding gun control and public safety. Future of gun control debates in New Mexico. The future of gun control debates in New Mexico is poised to be a complex and dynamic arena, influenced by a range of factors, including legal challenges, public sentiment, and political maneuvering. Governor Grisham's recent emergency order to implement the official national gun ban has triggered a significant legal and constitutional debate. This move, aimed at curbing gun violence in the state, has not only garnered support for its proactive approach, but has also faced vehement opposition, particularly from advocates of Second Amendment rights. The legal challenges surrounding this order will play a pivotal role in shaping future gun control discussions in New Mexico. Critics argue that the emergency measure infringes on constitutional rights, particularly the Second Amendment's guarantee of the right to bear arms. As legal proceedings unfold, the decisions reached by courts will set important precedents, potentially impacting the scope and limitations of executive authority in times of perceived crisis. Public sentiment will also be a key determinant in the future of gun control debates. The New Mexico community's response to the emergency order has been diverse, with some expressing support for the governor's proactive stance in addressing gun violence, while others vehemently oppose what they perceive as an infringement on their individual rights. This diversity of opinion will likely continue to fuel discussions on how best to balance public safety with constitutional liberties. Political dynamics will inevitably shape the trajectory of gun control debates in New Mexico. The governor's decision to implement the official national gun ban has been met with strong opposition from Republican lawmakers who view it as an overreach of executive power. This dissent, coupled with potential legal challenges and public outcry, may lead to further political maneuvering, including the proposal of legislative measures aimed at revising or nullifying the emergency order. Additionally, the outcomes of this debate will have a ripple effect on the broader national conversation surrounding gun control. New Mexico's experience will serve as a case study, influencing similar discussions in other states facing challenges related to gun violence. The decisions made in the wake of this emergency order may set a precedent for how states navigate the delicate balance between safeguarding individual rights and protecting public safety. Overall, the future of gun control debates in New Mexico is poised at a critical juncture, shaped by legal battles, public sentiment, and political dynamics. As the legal proceedings progress and public reactions evolve, the ultimate impact of the emergency order on gun control policy will unfold, potentially leaving a lasting imprint on the broader national discourse surrounding gun rights and public safety. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.